Congratulations, Mike, on taking a really nice New Mexico bull with Compass Outfitters. It took a couple of tries, but you ended up filling your freezer with the best source of protein available. Speaking of filling your freezer, next we're going to join with Adam Ellar as he shows us how to remove the backstrap and inside tenders in part 2 of our Field to Freezer video series.
So I like to go through and kind of clean these up a little bit. And again, we'll use any of that for trim. Clean off any of the bit of fat. Your venison fat is where your gaminess comes from. Any of this blue skin, this tougher stuff, works great for trim meat, for burger and salami or whatever else you'd like to do. But I like to take these and kind of like filleting a fish. So I come in on the end of the loin with about a 20-degree angle on my blade, and I can grab that and hold it against that blue skin, and that whole layer of that tallow will come right out of there just like that. And we'll discard that later. But now we've got a pretty clean cut here, a little bit of fat. We'll do the same thing to the other side, this blue skin that's on the top of here, and we'll just, again, clean up any of this gristle that lays here to get rid of it. There's a little bit of a tendon right there. We'll pull this piece off. I like to clean this up and square this off a little bit. It just makes a nicer looking steak. Goes into our trim pile. Again, come down to the end of this loin. A little bit of blue skin there we'll clean up. Come in and hold that knife at about a 20-degree angle, and then just hold that with your left hand and then slide right down that blued meat, just like that. So now we've got two nice clean loins. We've got them cleaned up, and now there's a couple different ways that you can cut them. So you can do a butterfly cut, which I'll show you, and you can do a regular cut, just depending on it's a preference and how you want it. It's a smaller steak, so the butterfly cut helps give you a better portion size steak. So you take your knife and cut halfway through, and then go to your next cut, and then you can make a full cut across, and this gives you a nice butterfly. You know, basically it doubles the size of your steak, just like that. Or we can take and run a full cut and do a chop size. You know, we like to cut these around a 1/2 inch. These work nice for frying up. Several different ways that you can cook these. Or in some cases, some people like to either third them or halve them, and this will help. If they package, it depends on the meal that they're having, they can have a full piece of meat like this, and when it goes into the freezer in this whole form like this, you cut it out when you go to prepare it, you've got less exposure to the meat. Rather than having freezer exposure to each individual piece, if you get any of that, it's all on this one piece and you can cut it up. It just makes for a little bit better product in the end. So that's another way that you can do it there, just like that. Now, the inner tenderloins, we're just going to go ahead and clean those up. Just get rid of some of this fat and anything that's got in here from field dressing the animal, and just make sure they're nice and clean. A little bit of blood from doing the field dressing, but just kind of clean them up like that, real nice. And we're just going to leave those whole. Those are a pretty small chunk of meat, and we can cook them up, and if we want to cut them when we fry them or whatever. And again, just cleaning up this fat. Trimming it up there, get rid of some of this dried blood, any of that stuff that you don't want in there. So that concludes our second video of the series. In this next series, we're going to come back and we're going to show you how to break down the front shoulders and take apart the neck meat. There's several different things that we can do with the neck meat, and we'll take you into that. We look forward to your suggestions and comments and any feedback that you have. We hope that this series is going to make you a better wild game processor to provide this nice, lean, clean protein for your families.